How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. What is up? Yes, and thank you for watching. So today's topic is on a drip account. What is a drip account? Is it a leaky faucet? Sure, sounds like it. A drip account? Not exactly, but kind of, I guess. Pretty much what it is, well, first off, we should kind of know what a drip account is. Like, does it stand for something? Great question. And yes, it sure does. So we should probably get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about some more. So a drip account stands for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. Pretty much that's what it stands for. It's a dividend reinvestment plan. Now, what the hell does that mean? Because it sounds like a whole lot of mumbo jumbo. So what is dividends? Pretty much, real quick, dividends, when a company makes a profit, it decides to share it with its shareholders. Yeah, you can do this in the form of dividends, which is the most popular, share buybacks, investing into the business, special dividends. Most companies pay a dividend. Pretty much the big ones pay a dividend. The ones that you can normally name pay a dividend, as in like Apple, Microsoft, Costco, Walmart, tons of companies. Not all of them, because you need to normally be making a profit, and a decent profit, to pay out this amount of money. Obviously, with everything happening right now, a lot of companies are cutting dividends, but that's another story on its own. So that's what dividends is. So now that you know what dividends is, so now you own a share of a company, or you own shares of a company, they pay you a dividend. Well, that's money. So now that would be reinvested. So this is a dividend reinvestment plan. Now that should make more sense. So you own a company, they pay you money, it reinvests. It's pretty much compound interest at its absolute finest. So some companies offer special drip accounts. You can sign up with them. So you sign up with a company that offers a drip account. Now they're all different, so they vary, but they can offer you a discount on their share price between 1 and 10%. 10% is pretty rare, so don't expect that, but it's out there. So you find one of these companies, you decide to sign up for a drip program. Normally the company will offer no fees. Interesting. So you're not paying any fees to trade. However, your bank might, okay? So that can be a bit of an issue. So if your bank's charging you to trade, well, then maybe it's not worth it. It all depends. Also, you should do this here in Canada, it's called a TFSA. It's a tax-free savings account. But in the United States, it's better known as a Roth IRA account. That's pretty much what it is. So you open up those accounts, and you would sign up for the drip program, because that could save you a lot of money. And it's like the most passive way of investing, as in you just buy a stock, hold it, pays you dividends, it then buys more of that specific stock, and then it continues and continues and snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. Here's a story that will show you how beneficial this is. Coca-Cola. I think we all know that company. If you bought one single share in Coca-Cola when it IPO'd, the initial public offering, meaning the stock became public, you could now go out on the NASDAQ and buy it, okay? So you go buy Coca-Cola. Yeah, good old American company. And you buy one single share for, at the time, 40 bucks. $40. Now I'm sure $40 was worth a bit more 101 years ago in 1919. But you just bought one share. One single share. How much is that worth today? Well, Coca-Cola has split their stock several times throughout the years. Let's put it like this. As of today, 2020, it would be worth around $395,000. Wow, that's quite the gain from 40 bucks. Okay, here's the more interesting part. If Coca-Cola was on a dividend reinvestment plan, a drip plan, you'd have over $10 million. $10 million, like Jesus Christ, $10 million. The only difference was it was on a dividend reinvestment plan. That's how important this could be, okay? This could literally make you millions. The chances of that happening again are slim. You would have to find another company like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola in 1919 was a bit less valuable than it is today, judging by the price that its share price was $40 and not $395,000. Okay, yeah. So it's gone up in value just a tad bit. But that dividend reinvestment plan was like the greatest thing ever. That compound interest made them like millions of dollars. Your gain looks like a joke compared to the dividends reinvested. And believe me, if you had just kept that money in cash, it wouldn't be worth that much. Fractional. So this could literally make you millions, okay? Now, are there goods, are there bads? Yeah, there's mostly good for the most part. Do I have a drip account personally? No, I do not. Why? Why don't I have a drip account? Great question after I just said how amazing it was. Because it is. Really, it is. Here's the thing. I'm not like a passive investor, meaning I don't just buy a stock, hold it, forget about it, and go about my daily life. That's not me. I buy stocks. I trade stocks in the sense that I have a price I like to buy and I have a price I like to sell. And if it goes around those prices, I buy and I sell. More active investing, I don't just buy a stock at whatever price and hold it for however amount of time. What do I do with the dividends? The dividends is interesting. Now I take the dividends and I don't always reinvest it in that company. I do keep the dividends in my account as cash, and I may put it towards that company or another company. My bank would charge me a fee for doing this. Now I own quite a few shares of Apple, but not enough to buy even one single share every 3 months they pay a dividends. Okay, so I'm not gonna buy a fractional share of Apple and then sure, Apple won't charge me, but my bank account will, so there's no point to do that. So for me, I find it more beneficial to just reinvest it myself. Also, I like to pick the price I buy stocks at. And that's one of my biggest things for sure, is that the drip account doesn't let you pick that. So if I don't specifically want to buy a stock at that specific price, well, I don't have a choice if I have a drip account. It's going to, no matter what. So there's not much I can do about that. But if I get the dividends, I can decide when I want to buy it. I can keep it in cash, and should the stock move lower, I can then deploy more money into that stock. So I think it's worked out really well for me. However, for the most part, if you're not going to invest actively and you're just passively, the drip account's the way to go. I told my girlfriend to set up a drip account because she's not an active investor and she doesn't want to make active stock moves. She works for the whole time the market's open and doesn't log on at all. She only buys on like holidays, or if I tell her, you should really look into buying this stock, and she'll normally take my advice, and it's done pretty well for her, so she does take my advice, thankfully. But I told her to get the drip account because it works out really well for her. For me, it's just not for me. Not as of right now. Maybe one day, but as of right now, it's not for me. However, you should definitely look into getting a drip account. It's one of those things that you don't have to be into investing. You just have to get it, invest, and then it can make you a lot of money. It's something you really need to look into. There's not too many bads with it other than the fact that you can't pick the stock price you want, and you might have to pay some fees. That's pretty much the bad. There's a lot more good. If you were as amazed by that Coca-Cola story as I was, because when I first read that, I was just like, the power of compounding is like the eighth wonder of the world. It really is, and that's why you should invest young. You should look into drip accounts. Definitely think about stocks that pay a dividend, because all these things really add up, and they may not seem big or marginal or anything. They might be like, oh, it only pays a little bit of a dividends, and this drip account's only going to do a little bit here, a little bit there. But if you're not an active investor, I think it's the way to go. And if I didn't really care about stocks, I only invested as like more of something to do to try and make money, and not something I actually love and enjoy to follow like religiously, then sure, I would definitely set up a drip account and I would put it in my TFSA and I'd leave it alone, just like that. So now the choice is yours, now that you know what a drip account is. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to put them down in that comment section. I will definitely answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, you might as well like this video and also hit that subscribe button. Yeah, subscribe. subscribe to the channel so you can always get notified when I post the latest and greatest videos. Ooh, speaking of notified, you might want to click that bell notification. That bell notification will definitely notify you. Anyways, until next time, have an amazing, beautiful, life-changing, one-of-a-kind day, and I'll see you next time.